Hey everyone, Jessica here. So in this week's tools and tutorials, I am starting off with some inspiration from a recent Guo Pei, I think is how you say it, collection from the Haute Couture week. And I really loved this use of textile here, and I'm going to show you a few of the images that I used to sample colors from. And as you can see, they have like you have all this texture and fibers and thread and this really interesting use of textile and embroidery, and you have like deconstructed fibers, and even you have like a lot of patchwork, and it's very rich and sumptuous. So I kind of use this as my starting off point of inspiration, and I thought it would be really cool to make a little mini set of brushes that are inspired by this kind of idea of textiles and thread, and do something really interesting with that. So I created a nice set this week of actually 17 brushes, and I will have the download information down below in the description. And then to go along with that, I also created these color palettes, and I actually ended up creating just the same amount. I created 17 color palettes, and I sampled colors from these couture creations so that you can make some really cool things. And actually I'll show you a few little things that I've just kind of been playing with, just some kind of digital backgrounds. And this is like nothing finished, but you kind of get the idea of like, I just kind of layered brush strokes and just had a lot of fun with it, and made these really cool backgrounds. And I'm even playing with the idea like here of patchwork. So in the future videos, I'm going to do some more of like how I created these. But really, most of these three demo images that you see here, I just layered brush strokes. I played around, added some brush strokes, and then also I added a little bit of gold on top. And I'll show you my trick on how I did that. And I think that really kind of ties it in with the inspiration here in the original designs here, but gives that kind of glistening gold look that I think is really romantic. So I'll show you how I did that at the end of the video. But basically, most of you guys are familiar with using using the pattern stamp technique to paint multiple colors. So first of all, you just need to load up your brushes, the ABR brushes, and you can look at one of my other videos if you don't know how to load brushes. But load up your brushes, the ABR file, and load up the pattern file, PAT. It goes up in your Photoshop patterns. And you're going to have the pre-mixed colors here in the pattern file, and then you have your brushes here. So first off, I'm just going to go through and give you a little preview of what all these brushes looked like. And before I get to kind of the really fibery ones, brush number one, I wanted some to kind of just have like a really soft kind of look, so that you can kind of mix this in with the fiber kind of look. So I've got some of these softer brushes, and then you can get in here to these really fibery looking brushes. This one is one of my favorite ones, number 6, to play with. I think you can have a lot of fun and make some really cool kind of patterns with that. And then you've got number 7, and then 8 and 9 are kind of similar, but this one has a softer effect and it's more filled in, and then this one has like a harsher effect, but it's less filled in. So all of these brushes can just be layered and create some really cool effects like you see here. And you've got 12, 13, 14, then I'll just go up here. 15 is very delicate. And you just get the idea of like all these kind of really cool sort of fiber effects with the brush strokes. And I think we're going to make some really cool things this week with these brushes. And I'm just using actually one of my favorite color palettes that I made was number 14. This has like a lot of different colors in it. And if you want to add some of the gold flecks on top like you see in my demos, I'm going to show you how I did that. And I'm just going to put my brush thing here back. So I'm just going to turn that off. And what I did was I take one of the brushes, like I'm going to take actually brush number 17 is fine, except I want to go over here to my mixer brush tool. And if you don't see that mixer brush, it might be hiding under here underneath your regular brush, but I have it already out. So mixer brush, grab something like fiber 17, and make sure that over here on the top left you have dry heavy load. That means it's not gonna blend this gold or whatever. And then you can go and find a gold image of some gold. If you have my 24 karat collection, you can sample from this. So I'm gonna go over here to this gold image, and I'm going to option click to load this image into my brush. And if you're on a PC, I believe it's alt click. So that loads up the brush, and then I'm gonna go back over here to my demo and then just make some little strokes like this. And as you can see, you have this really cool shimmering gold. So that's the technique that I used on some of these demos here. And as you can see, it's like really light and subtle, and it can really work in and give that kind of a gilded gold embroidered thread effect. And brush number 17 is one of my ones that I love. But also there is, I think, number 15. That's really cool too. This is very delicate, but you can also add some really cool softer gold effects in there with that. So very easy. You've got some new tips, so that can get you started. And then in the upcoming tutorials, we will play more with this idea, and I can show you some of my tips and tricks, and we'll make some more specific things. And if you have any questions, just write down below in the comments. And I hope you guys love this brush. I think that this is going to be we can do some really cool things and really gives our designs some very like haute couture looks with this.